if experience has taught us anything, that you never know what's going to really happen in the end. But
yeah, this could still change.
I think this one's going to stick.
Okay.
Hey everybody, today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Hello! Welcome to another day with the Knorpps. Today is day 1000, probably, of home building
activities?
stuff. Yeah, activities. So,
there's no actual home building happening.
you guys, I wish that, when I had my first baby, when Elijah, I remember wishing that I hadn't told people I was pregnant, like, the moment after I found out. Because it made the pregnancy feel so much longer, because everybody was like, when's the baby due? And also, I was huge. Elijah was a huge baby. So I got asked all the time, any day now. I'm like, I'm only 6 months pregnant. But I was told, and I've been told many times, that building a house takes a lot longer and is a lot more complicated than you think it will be. But you always just think with you, at least I do, it will be different. So we bought this little house in our town, and I'm so grateful we bought it in 2019 because it was much less than it would be now. Everybody knows how crazy housing is.
At least in most places.
In the United States, in most places. So I'm glad we bought it, and we thought, we have been through so many iterations. The last one we bought plans online to like kind of redo and try to make them work. Then we paid a lot of money to have the plans changed to work for us and got those plans back. Literally days before we got the plans back, we found out from the bank that was not going to work. It was going to be way too much and was going to require more of us than we wanted to give financially. And so we were pretty disheartened about that, but we went and talked to the builder, and he made us feel better, the builder that we've chosen to work with. And he said that we could totally do something completely different and save a couple $100,000. What that requires is throwing out those plans, which are our second or third plans we paid for.
More than that.
And
I mean, if you count the original architect we talked to, they gave us three different.
We purchased three different.
I don't know if it's worth going through like every.
Anyways, this is how it goes. Do we regret getting all those plans? I mean, how can you? Because we didn't know what we know now. That's the hard part with building a house. You kind of have to spend money and move forward to find out if that's going to work. Because nobody can give you any information until you've spent money and given them plans.
Right.
You can't. Yeah.
Banks and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and so, whose car is that?
That's great.
Oh.
Our draftsman.
So, anyways, we're meeting a draftsman here. He's taking measurements. And I'll tell you more about kind of the timeline now. All right, guys, this is Gray, and he's our draftsman, and he's made a nicer version of the plans ideas we sent him.
Sketches that Megan made, which are actually good sketches.
And they got the Ghostbusters sound on there. Nice. And we're gonna kind of talk them through everything we're doing in here. So now we're going to be building out and out. And leaving this is our living space. It worked for us before, so yeah. So we finished up with Gray, and he is going to be drawing out what we have kind of figured out to do with the house. So we have literally gone through so many different things, and I guess I'm grateful for it because we've really, it's like kind of like we've dated a bunch of different houses in our minds. Because you just think about like, okay, the house will be like this. And then you're like, well, I don't really like this. And so then you get that one changed and that one changed. I really thought I was going to marry the last house. I loved the last house, but I'm going to put last house plan. I'm putting the phone on the table because my hands are tired. But it was really expensive. And it just started to feel more stressful about that. And then with the bank's needs for that, it was like, no, we're not going to do it.
Well, and it may be worth noting that we started this whole thing back in 2019. late 2019. If we just,
So-
just a quick overview. We procured an architect, or we hired an architect, late 2019. They gave us, I think, 3 different drawings
We worked through
we
3
just
different
couldn't seem to
iterations.
find something we liked that they're providing. Then COVID hit, and we just sort of put everything on pause, like everybody did, kind of in March of 2020. And then came back to it and realized we didn't really like what they were giving us, and so we said we're not going to work with this architect anymore. And then didn't really work out what the next step was until later in 2020, I think late 2020, where we found, or we decided to go with an online plan, which we purchased, met with a builder, thought we could do it.
Well, not only did we purchase that plan, but we then paid their like online architects.
Yeah, but when we first purchased, we thought we'd build that. And then we realized that it was a really big house, going to be super expensive. Anyway, so then we went to that company and said, hey, let's make some changes to this. And that process took another 6 months.
8, 9 months.
Another, I don't know how many, I don't remember how much you paid, but a while. And then got the bids on that, and talking to the bank, realized that was going to be too expensive as well. And now had to go back to the drawing board, and that was just back in like 2 or 3 months ago, right? That we realized that.
No.
Less than that. A month ago?
No, it was 2 months ago.
2 months
Almost
ago.
2 months. A month and a half ago,
Uh-huh.
right before we went to Mexico, like literally the day before.
Right.
It was like, I don't think we're building that house. And we talked about all our options. We talked about selling it, just like, okay. We talked about waiting a little bit longer and seeing if we still wanted to do the big house, saving some money, spending a lot
Going
and
through
doing the
that.
really big house. And then our third option was...
The third option was to do this. We had also had gone back and forth on what to do with the existing home, whether we were to build onto it or actually just tear it down and build
Start
something
from
new.
scratch.
And that was a whole like
We
back
went
and
back
forth.
and forth and back and forth.
And we
and
did
back
this
and forth.
all on our own. We never really talked on camera about it. But essentially, where we've landed now is that keeping the footprint pretty much as it is and not tearing anything down except some interior walls.
But very few, actually.
But really
interior
very few.
walls.
So that's where we're at right now. This is the what seems to be, hopefully, the final.
You always
plan.
have to think it's the final plan. Because a lot of people will mention to us every time we're in a rental, why don't you just buy that one? Well, for one thing, it's not for sale. And for another thing, we actually really like what we bought. We're still really happy
We
with
like that location.
our lot, with the location. Like, we just really like that spot. That's why we bought it. But it takes a while to figure these things out. And it's funny, there's a house that's being built kind of like around the corner through the woods. To grandmother's house? No. That was being built that one day we were walking by and the woman was there and I'm like, oh, so you're building on this lot? She's like, yeah, it only took us 3 years to get started. And I was like, oh, wow, not going to happen to us. And here we are, it'll take us 3 years.
It's 2.5 years.
It'll take us 3 years to get started. But
Yeah.
but you're 2.5 years in, so that's okay.
Yeah.
So, and we talked to other people. Remember that a long time ago when we had just bought it and it had taken them forever. And you just think like, well, that's weird. They must not have it figured out like we do.
There's that.
But I'm sure for some of you, it went really fast. And I know
yeah.
that it doesn't make sense to a lot of you because, we're not going to actually like invite you to look at everything in our bank account and in our minds and in our futures. So you're just going to have to trust that this is the best decision. I know a lot of you know that, but this is our sweet little house. The original plans. This is a carport over here, if you can't tell. We are going to be taking that to this, give or take.
This is Megan's rough sketch.
Yeah, so what we're doing is first, there's a garage getting added on back here that will have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom above it. It'll be a really big garage with a workshop so that Mike and everybody else can use it. We're building into the carport, a library, and expanding the kitchen. We're raising the roof line. Can you guys see that? The roof is going way up. That'll add a lot to
Just
the
more of
charm
a-
of the house
yeah,
and to
more of
the
a
space inside.
Pitch or whatever.
Yeah. And then we're making it look a little bit more like a cottage. So, and then you can't see it, but we're adding onto the back too, another bedroom.
We're just expanding the footprint.
Yeah. So we're happy because it's a really solid house, and we heard
You mean
from
the existing house?
yeah.
There's
In
lots
and
of
out,
kids around,
stuff.
so it's
We
a
have
little
9
bit loud.
children. No, so we heard from many people that we should tear it down, and we heard from a few people that we could probably keep it. And so that's why we've been back and forth.
This
So
is like everyone we've talked to along this process.
builders and architects and engineers, and then just neighbors. So we're really happy to be keeping it because we did the little bit of renovations we did on it. We saw how solidly built this was, and talking to an engineer that looked at it and things. So we're really happy, and I think our builder is too.
Well, yeah, our builder's done a lot of these type of jobs, so this is very familiar to them.
Yeah.
So it's good,
And that way we can keep,
and it does save a lot of money
yes,
to
saves a
keep
lot.
it. We just weren't sure if we could actually come up with a design because we do have a big family, and even though some kids are kind of moving out, they still
probably
seem to
moving
come
back
back on a fairly regular basis. So, and then if you really want to think long term, you add to that grandkids come to visit someday and that sort of thing.
They're playing a game right now to see how many times they can open and close
Yeah,
the door
well-
at our house. Another thing is we want this house to be good for us for the long term. So we want it to be really like this house to serve us. And so there were times when we wondered if it wasn't going to serve us if we had to stay in the confines of the little house. But I'm happy because when everything fell apart a month and a half ago, I remember saying to you, I have looked at this house so many times. I have tried to configure and reconfigure to make it work for our family, and I don't think I can do it. I remember how depressed I was to go back to the original little plan, floor plan of the house, and how can we make this work? And remember that night we designed a horrible house.
Yeah.
We designed a horrible house, and then we were like, nobody will, even if this works for us, nobody else will ever want it because it's a horrible house. We slept on it, and the next morning some ideas came.
Yeah.
And
Well, adding this garage on the back is really what made the difference.
Yeah, and so really happy that we have figured it. And I'm not saying that. I mean, obviously, if experience has taught us anything, that you never know what's going to really happen in the end. But
Yeah, this could still change.
I think this one's going to stick, and it's good. We were able to renew our lease here. We thought we'd be out by now.
Well, yeah,
Sad.
we really thought that it would just be a year here, but it
it's
looks
also
like it'll be 2.
We're happy though that it has served us so well, and it's been a really good home for us.
It's a good house, so we're grateful to be here.
So now,
So that's where
date
we are.
night. We're gonna go out on a date, and
And the kids are gonna stay here, which is the
make
point.
dinner. I hope that answers your questions. I wish that we could have. I mean, in a way, we didn't talk about it every step of the way because you guys, your heads would have been spinning as much as ours, and that wasn't necessary. And also, as we're trying to figure it out, it's not always helpful to have a whole, several thousand people giving you their ideas and input. So,
And then
kind of wanted to figure that out and then be able to tell you what's going on.
still uncertain about actually sharing even this point because until it's actually being constructed, I'm still, you're not sure if it's actually gonna work out the way you think it is. So we'll see.
Yeah. But we have hope, and we trust
That's where
that
we're
it's
at.
all whatever happens in the end will be the best.
That's right.
So hope you're having a great day. Thanks for coming along. Is that it?
I don't know if that's it.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe. Okay, so it's date night. So Meg and I are going to head out for our weekly date, which we love to do. It's great to get a little break. However, we're leaving the kids here. They've got to figure out dinner. So we decided to let them make one of our HelloFresh meals. As I said earlier in the video, today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh, and it's a great option, even in this situation where mom and dad aren't available and the kids need to make a meal for themselves. It's simple enough they can do it, and they'll record it. You can see. Hopefully, it turns out okay. We have been using HelloFresh for a number of months now. We love it. It's perfect for this time of year, especially as we're getting further into 2022, and if you're working on goals and that sort of thing that you set earlier in the year and you want to continue with those and keep on going strong, it's a great way to have a meal that's already ready to be made. All the ingredients are there, so you can keep on moving toward what you're planning for, but not have to worry about going to the store and kind of throwing a monkey wrench into your day if you haven't planned ahead for that. HelloFresh is a meal delivery service, gets delivered right to your door, comes in convenient boxes. They're like a little cooler, has some ice in there to keep everything cold and fresh. easy to unpack, easy to put away, and then easy to use when it's time to make the meal. So a great time saver, also great for having delicious meals that are nutritious and all that great stuff. There's lots of options on the website, really easy to sign up. So if you want to give HelloFresh a try, just go to our website, not our website, go to hellofresh.com, use the code Knorpp16 to get 16 free meals plus 3 gifts plus free shipping. And enjoy watching the kids make this meal. We'll see how they do.
Hi guys, it's Andrew and my friend Lex. We are going to be making dinner tonight at the Knorpp household. My parents are gone on a date, so we're making a HelloFresh meal. Just us. I have made HelloFresh meals before. It's pretty easy. They got all the instructions and stuff here. And more importantly, they taste really good. No joke, when I saw the boxes outside, I got very, very excited because I really like how the HelloFresh food tastes, which is important for food. I'd say it's like one of the top 3 most important things about food. So first we'll be boiling some water, and then we'll be chopping up the zucchini by following the first step. We eat more than just the 1 servings, but luckily you can order multiple servings and it tells you how to do more of them. And then the quarter zucchini, so we gotta, you know what I'm saying? And then
go ahead and slice the thing. How do I slice? Just do it.
About that. Do you think that's about a half an inch? Well, that's what it says. It says about a half an inch. That's a lot of cubes.
That's not a, that's, Andrew, you're bad at maths. That's not a cube.
Okay,
That's
it's
like,
not a triangle.
it's like a pizza thing.
Yeah, what? There's
like-
a name for that shape.
It's like
Pizza thing?
pizza thing. That's the scientific name.
That's what Archimedes named it.
Thank you.
Look at that fanciness.
Wow.
Perfection. Pretty. Pretty and yummy. This is the prettiest meal you've ever made.
Wow, look at that.
What do y'all think? What do you think, Lex?
It's so good.
It is very good. So the consensus is everyone likes it? Lex said he wants to come over to our house to eat our HelloFresh, right?
Yes.
It's good stuff.
Okay, we just got back from our date, had a good time, went out for dinner and dessert with Wes and Allison. It's a nice little night out. And I think the kids did a good job on the meal. Andrew pulled through and made that happen and did a good job, so worked well. So yeah, if you're interested in HelloFresh, just go to hellofresh.com, use our code Knorpp16, get 16 free meals, 3 free special gifts or surprise gifts, and free shipping. And I think that's it for the video. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for following us on the home journey as we shared that today. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.